Seek the truth. Paranormal investigations.
Saying something about hearing the word help a few times. I didn't capture. I heard something talk underneath him.
Don't think, you're thinking too hard. Okay, I want you to shape of his face.
Rounded,
Okay. How tall?
about your height.
Done this before, haven't you? That's what I thought. Because you've got like this, you've got a green energy that's pulsating around you. Okay, now, we've established that we may possibly have a male entity. Now, what we're going to do, since you're the medium, thank God, because I'm not a medium anymore.
I love her.
Yeah, you are. The more than you know. Believe me, the more than you know.
DVD?
You're the medium now, kid.
Okay.
Now, I want you to communicate a little bit. What I want you to do is I want you to just take a deep breath and say out loud. I don't want you to be thinking. Don't do the Svengali thing. That's BS. Don't bother to do that. Always use your voice, because when you're communicating through the voice, you're working with vibration. If spirit is vibration, what we want to do is we want it to slow down, come down, to touch into us. In order to do that, sometimes you have to use your voice. The voice is vibratory. We're bringing up power, power energy. So I want you to ask for permission for contact.
Okay, can I have permission to contact with you?
Tell me what you hear. Yes or no? You're thinking. Get the impression. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. We have permission to do that. How do you want to do it? You want to do it through mechanical means? You want to do it through a board? I'm giving it up to you for the first one, okay? Who wants to work? Anybody want to work? You want to work?
I've never done it before, so.
Do you feel, okay, hold on before we do that. You getting overwhelmed with emotion?
A little bit.
Okay. Look at me, look right in my eyes. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes, look right into my eyes. What I want you to do now, everybody has an etheric double. This is you, except, wow, you clairsentient, oh crap. That's why you're feeling that. I want you to visualize this emotion going sideways into the etheric double. Now when it leaves your body, it goes into the etheric double. Feel it? How do you feel now? A little bit better? Whenever you get overwhelmed with that, just, because it's not yours. Remember that, it's not yours. What you want to be able to do is be able to work in every situation. When I was, as a reader, I was shown the last moments of people's lives, and you get overwhelmed with that emotion. So what you have to learn is you have to learn to push it sideways. You have to learn to put it into the etheric double, and it goes into the ether, so it'll slowly go away. Make sense? Okay. You guys, now do you guys mind sitting on the floor, because I don't have a, okay, let's go and just sit and face each other.
Oh, you're going over there, okay.
Wait a minute, this is not like junior mud wrestling, okay guys? Ooh, wow, she's scaring me now. Okay, we're just gonna be here. Now, let me inform you guys of a little Ouija etiquette.
Okay.
like any other tool that you're going to use, you're going to go and use either, you're going to get good whatever entities coming through, you're going to get okay entities coming through, and you can get bad entities like anything else. Always remember that there's more negative entities that want to come through than, other ones. Spirit is hungry for communication. So what happens is that sometimes they will lie. Spirits will lie. They're not, all pristine.
Right.
They will tell you whatever you want to hear in order to have that communication. So what the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to go and just do the blessing. Infinite Spirit, Mother, Father, God, we ask that only the highest and the best come through. We ask for positive communication. We ask for positive communication to come through, and that we stay safe and welcome. Okay, now just put 2 fingers on each side, and I'm going to tap it 3 times. And that's usually just a blessing.
Okay.
Infinite Spirit, do you have a communication for us? Yes or no? Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Move the planche. Move the planche, Spirit. Infinite Spirit, move the planche if you have something you wanted to say.
It's probably because it's not a checkerboard.
True. I have my other one has one of them has a checkerboard on it. Infinite Spirit, Mother, Father, God, use my energy to go and aid in this spirit endeavor. You can use my energy, but you may not deplete me. Remember that. You can use it, but you cannot deplete. So please understand that that's the way it will work here. How do you feel?
I'm shaking.
Do you feel a pressure going right or left on your hand?
Mm-hmm.
Is that
It
watching?
wants to go towards her a little
Right.
bit.
Okay. Just allow it to go towards her. Allow it to go towards her. Go ahead, Spirit. Go ahead, Spirit. Will you talk to us today, Spirit? Sweet Spirit, will you talk to us today? The vibration starting to come up. Infinite Spirit, build into the planche. Build the energy into the planche, Spirit. Go into the direction. It's all right, Spirit, take your time. For we are no threat. Come on, Spirit, they're starting to move. Can you feel the vibration coming up through your hands?
Mm-hmm. Then my elbow.
Yeah, sometimes what happens is it takes time for it to build, and this is, for all of us, kind of a different endeavor. Spirit, move the planche. Spirit, please move the planche. Spirit, please move the planche. Spirit, please move the planche. If you would like to say yes to our request for communication, Spirit, move the planche. Move it to yes. Sweet Spirit, move it to yes. Come to move it. Sweet Spirit, we are here to honor you. We are here to honor your memory. We ask that we have communication. Spirit, use my energy. You may use my energy, but not deplete it. There we are. Thank you, sweet Spirit. Thank you. Now you guys weren't moving it, right? No. That's what I wanted to hear. Okay, let's bring it back to the balance. Put it back down there.
Okay, I gotta get in a new position.
Okay, get in a new position.
I have a battery in the back pocket. Do you want me to count it for you? Nope, I got it, I'm good now.
Let's try it again.
Is this Bob's room? Bob's room?
Okay. I want you guys, because you two are on the board. I'm only a battery.
Okay.
Okay, I'm only just directing like energy into it. I would like you to go and ask a question. Who wants to be the spokesman out of the two of you? Okay. I want you to be you're the one that will answer or ask the question.
Okay.
What type of question would you guys like to ask? And I want you to repeat it to the board.
Okay.
So, what question do you have?
Is this Bill's room?
Mine.
I'm just
Are
wondering.
you in,
We can just ask it if it's we already established
Right,
through your
that's
feeling
what I
as a
was
male.
gonna ask.
Can you give us the first name? First letter of your name.
Okay. Can you give me the first letter of your name?
Infinite Spirit. I ask that you go and give us the first letter of your name. We do this as a symbol, as a demonstration of eternal life. And I ask that you do this for us.
That is G.
G. Now, whenever you get a response, always say thank you.
Thank you.
Ask now for the second letter.
Can you please give me the second letter of your name?
And spirit build energy into the planche. I ask that you give energy to the planche. I wish that the energy flows through these barrels and into the planche. Is it E?
That's what it's looking like. Thank you.
Ask if the name is Gerald.
Is your name Gerald?
Infinite Spirit, give me a yes or no answer. I ask for a yes or no answer. Energy build in the planche, direct the answer that you wish to give. Infinite Spirit, use my energy, please. Do not deplete. Energize the planche. I will not say yes until you are on it. Thank you, sweet spirit.
Thank you.
Bring it back to center. We established that the name is Gerald. Now, again, we have no proof.
Right.
Got to remember that. We got to keep all that in perspective with what we're doing. But we did get a result. Again, is it our subconscious? Absolutely, it could be. However, I mean, it kind of works with what you've done. And again, this is the old school way of doing things. Now, what I would ask them next is to establish how old they were when they were here.
Okay.
Okay? going to be probably a little bit difficult because of where the plancher is. You might, for something like that, for a number, you might want to switch it around. See, I remember, you got to understand one thing. There are rules of safety with this, but there are no other rules. Okay, when you work with this, because of the fact that, you know, I mean, people get real anal about it because they're scared of it. You can't be scared of it. It's just it's a tool. That's all it is. Man,
Just
I'm
like
getting it
anything
again.
else we use.
Exactly. So why don't you try that? Ask the age.
Okay. Can you tell me how old you are, or how old you were when you were here?
Infinite Spirit. Charge the cliche. Pull the energy from the ground. Pull the energy from the building to the board into the plancher. We have a 6.
It's in between 6 and 7.
Were you older than that? You were not a child. I don't feel that you were a child, Gerald. If there's a second number, I ask you to move it to that second number.
Do you want me to repeat that?
Yes.
Can you please move it to a second number if you were older than the child?
Infinite Spirit, charge the plancher. Infinite Spirit, charge the plancher.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now,
64.
ask if he ask if he knows he is passed.
Okay.
You turn the plancher around. And it's important that we ask that, because if you're going to establish a pattern of a haunting, let's say a negative haunting or a haunting that's scaring people, that's the next thing you want to ask. You want to ask if they passed. They know it. That will establish it being an earthbound spirit and a spirit that is just in visitation. And visitation is where they just kind of come back and forth.
Okay.
So,
Excuse me. He looked out. He had a massive headache and chest pain
okay,
from the back.
okay. You guys work. Let me work with him.
Sure. I don't know if he's having trouble breathing.
Just watch. Just watch.
Do you know that you have passed? Sorry, I think that was me. That wasn't me. Yeah, elbow slid off. All right, let's try that one again. Scared the shit out of me. Sorry. I'm sorry about that. Do you know that you have passed? Yes or no?
Slow down a little bit. Okay, so just breathe normal.
Thank you.
It's okay. It's okay.
Bug flying around my head.
No, you're here.
There. Can you put it back on the side?
It's really weird because I feel like if I don't have my fingers on it hard enough, it's not moving. But then if I have it on too much and it starts to move and I pick my fingers up, it doesn't feel like you're moving it or I'm moving it. It's weird. I've never.
Second of all, I mean, it just.
What's the one?
I'm just kind of
Just
resting.
Paranormal Live.
I don't know what's going on.
What's that?
What's the Paranormal Live?
What's the hashtag for it? Paranormal Live Cross.
Paranormal
Crossroads Live.
Paranormal Crossroads Live.
Yeah. Okay. Right?
Wow, right here, big knot.
Turn around because I'm going to ask a number. I thought maybe when it was going in the middle of the 6 and the 7, that maybe it was 67.
Okay.
See, that's kind of what I thought. Then he said to ask a second number. So that's why I was like, it's in the middle. Well, he said that if you point it to another number, if you're older than a child. Yeah. Can you tell me what floor you stayed on? The first floor or the second floor? Where was your room?
A little bit better. It's still there, but it's not bad. Right? You okay? Better than before? Okay. I see those. I see those.
That's going fast.
I know.
Oh, wow.
And see how I keep picking my fingers up?
Yeah. Just, I'd say.
Thank you.
Don't kind of walk in there.
So the first floor, thank you.
It's hot, you know. No, don't be sorry. It happens. It's the way it works.
Okay. Okay, so we've established that he was on the first floor, his room was on the first floor.
Very cool. Very cool.
And he doesn't realize that he has passed. Yes.
Okay. Ask if his memories of this place, so we use yes or no first because of the fact, especially you guys, if this is new to the board starts to absorb your energy as it goes on. So we're just going to kind of go keep it simple. Ask if his time here was enjoyable.
Okay.
You can't sit now, see the whole thing is you can't say is it enjoyable or negative because that'll mix him up a little bit.
Right.
What you want to do is keep it as simple as possible. Was he happy here?
Okay. Gerald, was you happy here? Thank you.
I would like to, now, let's get a little bit deeper.
Okay.
Did he pass from this world here?
Okay.
Not in this room particularly, but in the
In the
facility?
building? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you pass from this world in this building?
Yes, good.
Yes, thank you.
Now let's push him into a little bit more of the esoteric. Are you ready for that? Why don't we ask if he was met by anyone on the other side?
Okay.
You know, yes or no, but we're not gonna ask for specifics. Let's just say yes and no here. Because now you can feel that the plancher is starting to pick up energy, it's starting to
It's
sink in with
moving
you guys.
quicker.
Right, the more you use it, the more it works.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay?
Were you met by anyone on the other side? Yes or no? Yes. Thank you.
Good.
Can I use your periscope? Want me to turn the periscope on and see if he's in it? Sure.
The next thing you want to ask is that, just trying to tap on what the energy feels like in here. We we've established that was the passing easy. Okay, go with easy. So when we start working with these, when you first start out, always try to frame your questions in a positive way, because negative, those, energy is energy.
Right,
The
right.
spirit will come in, they'll take
Right.
the work with the negativity. So try to frame it as positive as you can, especially in the beginning. I mean, you come like, with me, you go into a negative situation where you only have X amount of time to work. You only have 2-3 days to work in a negative location. Well, then you gotta poke it. You gotta take a stick and poke that devil, get it moving,
Right.
So you gotta establish what's going on. But in a case like this, you wanna be able to keep it as benign as possible. So I would ask him that.
Okay. Was your passing easy? Yes. Thank you.
The next question we want to ask. See, I mean, what we're trying to do is establish a flow where it makes sense to the discarnate mind. Because when we pass, of course, what we want to do is we want to be able to go and help them remember. Because remember, when you pass, I mean, you become energy, basically.
Right.
You lose your personality, but, I shouldn't say you lose your personality, you lose your base. Your personality stays the same, at least for a while. Now,
Can I tell you real quick what I just got in my head?
Sure. Because you're not a medium after all, right?
He said with his wife.
Mm-hmm. Good. Good. Okay, we're not going to go into burial. I want, ask if, I'd say a message, but that might be a little bit too complicated at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, ask if there's a message for one of us in this room.
Okay. See, I don't like having my arm on my knee because then I start moving and jiggling. Okay. Do you have a message for someone in this room?
Okay.
No. Thank you.
So now we basically have established that the entity Gerald is here, okay? We've established, not validated, but we've established that we believe that the entity Gerald, he was here. There's a little bit of a history behind him. Now let me tell you a little story. Back in the 70s, anybody, I can't think of the guy's name now, but they did an experiment in Toronto where they worked with a Ouija board. And actually they worked with tables, table tipping. And it's called the Philip experiment. Anybody familiar with the Philip experiment? Well, here's the thing. In the Philip experiment, they turned around and they made up an entire biography. And the table corrected everything that was wrong in the biography. Did they actually get somebody? Or is it Philip? Is it whatever?
Right.
I can tell you one thing. We were doing the same thing at the First Spiritualist Church in East New York. Because why? Because I don't believe a damn thing that I'm taught by any religious leader. So we're doing something with the Fox sisters. We're asking a question. We asked a question about the peddler. You guys know about the story about the Fox sisters? The peddler that disappears, they buried him in the basement, blah, blah, blah. Well, we asked what the real name of the peddler was. Well, the name that came through, that tapped through, because we did a wrapping system, at the table we'd jump around, you go A, B, C, and the thing would snap, bam! Well, that was the letter. It spelled out a name similar to what we were being taught through the Morris Pratt spiritualist classes. We did not realize this, but a couple weeks later, one of the students came in and had a copy of Emma Britton Harding's American Spiritualism. She's an English woman that wrote this book because American spiritualism was becoming too diluted. Guess what the peddler, the murdered peddler's name was? The one that was tapped out. We did not know it.
Wow.
So it actually corrected what we were being taught.
Yeah.
So I feel personally that we are in touch with something intelligent, you know, when they're correcting it.
Right.
Now here's the twist with what we're doing. Are we really getting Gerald, or is this someone coming through?
Right. Whoa.
We don't know. We don't know. That's your body. Your body is going to tell you whether you're going to get it or not. Okay, you got the heebie-jeebies on that one.
Yeah.
How did the pit of your stomach feel when that happened?
Fine.
You're all set. Because the biggest indicator of anything negative, it's called the gift of discernment. What happens is exorcists have this. The only reason I know this is I worked with a couple of them, and they all get it. They'll get a case, look at it and they'll go like that. That means it might be something. They'll go through paperwork and nothing.
Right.
That's how a lot of them will judge what cases they'll do.
Oh, wow.
So that's when they have to ask.
Yeah.
Secondly, what happens if you got like something a little bit negative coming through? What do?
Tell them to leave.
Shut down. Shut down and leave. Don't work the rest of don't work in that area again.
Right.
So let's ask one more question here, and then I'm going to let everybody get crazy and jump around and run around
Shut that off.
insane on the first floor, and we can use all our gizmos, and we can get out of here where like I am not like perspiring, because as we all know that I am a shrinking violet here. We're going to ask one more question and then we'll shut down.
Okay.
What question would you really like to ask about the afterlife?
Do they remain here on Earth?
Is heaven on earth? Basically, is the summer land on earth? Is this where, because again, spiritualism, we don't believe in heaven or hell. We believe that everything is energy. Many of the other religions don't believe in heaven or hell.
Right.
So ask if he remains, if either he remains on earth or this is where you remain after you pass. I mean, you can phrase it whatever way you want.
Okay. Is this where you remain after you pass away?
Spirit, Mother, Father, God, I ask that the energies sweep into the board and into the planche.
Stars are spoken.
Yeah.
Now again,
Thank you.
can we prove this? Absolutely not. I mean, when we die, we can prove it, but we can't prove it now. This is the bane of religion. This is the bane of philosophy. When it's a concept, and that's what religion is, and that's what we are doing, it's a concept. However, when we're working with this, we have to kind of decide if this is our own inner voice coming out,
Right.
subconscious coming out,
Okay.
or is this something else? So, now let's close this board.
Okay.
Medium. Just both of you, just put your
I
hands
didn't have.
just on the planche.
Okay.
And what I want you to do is I want you to thank the entity that has communicated with us.
Okay. Thank you, entity who has communicated with us today.
Yes, thank you very much.
And now, what I want you to do, now this is what's the important part, I want you to say, please stay here. This is where you belong. You belong in the plane, not with us. And we honor you and thank you. And again, thank you for being the highest and best. You can paraphrase it.
Okay.
You can tell I'm an ordained minister.
Right.
I talk for an hour.
Please stay here. Keep your energy here with the, what's it called? Planche?
Planche, yeah.
Planche. And don't come with us.
And thank you.
And thank you for talking with us
And
today.
thank you for being the highest and
And
best.
thank you for being the highest and the best.
And then I'll step out of my spiritualist thing and go, so mote it shall be. And then you can break off. Now give me just observations on it. Just quickly, this way we can You guys can get playing and we can go hang out.
Okay.
What are your observations? First of all, let me ask you, what did you feel when you were put your hands on them? What did you feel?
Energy, arms, like,
Shaking.
yeah,
Shaking.
you shook and I could just feel like,
Okay, that's because spirit usually, what they usually say is it works with the nervous system. Okay? So is your subconscious. Dowsing, this stuff, anything like that? Let me ask you both this. Did the spirit move that? Or did you guys move that?
I didn't move it.
Consciously, I don't know.
Okay, here's where I differ. Here's where I
I
differ.
know.
This is spiritualism rebellion 101. I personally believe that we move this through micro movements. Okay, idiosyncratic. And what happens is because we are antennas, we attract that coming through. So actually, what it is we're being guided through our subconscious. Same thing with dowsing, same thing with pendulum work. It all works pretty much on the same field.
That makes sense.
Okay, let me ask you, do you believe that what was coming through may have been otherworldly?
Yeah.
How? I'm looking at you because you got it, but how?
Because how else would they communicate with us? You know what I mean? How else are we getting these
Okay, now let's
answers?
throw out the logic. Boom, logic is gone.
Okay.
Let me ask you on an emotional level. How do you feel? How do you believe that it is? The reason I'm asking you this is because this will go with any part of ghost hunting.
Okay, so on an emotional level,
Yeah.
I feel it in my soul
Okay. Logical level.
because I know.
Okay. I can't argue with you. I mean, I just can't argue with you. Let me ask you, what do you feel from the experience? What did you draw from it?
It's different. I mean, I've never used one before, so.
I will tell you something. The two of you came up. You weren't afraid of it. Negativity. You bring fear, anger, all this. These are all things that bring negative things in there, especially fear. In most negative cases, what happens is, what do? They try to scare you in order to heighten that fear, that energy. And they're like, almost like addicts, you know, because you have addiction, spirits. We have all these crazy names for all that stuff. But because you have no fear, that's why it worked. That's why it was positive. Had nothing to do with me standing here and telling you that there's nothing here. You don't have to worry about anything negative. Had nothing to do with it. Even though I felt it, doesn't make a difference. It's in anything that we do. Have no fear. When you have fear, you have a trepidation, puts up a wall. In order to do this, there's common things. You have to come from a joyful place, and you have to be able to go and have no fear to do it. Because if you have fear, that's when you bring stuff home. That's when they can hook into your etheric body. That is that second field, your aura. They can do that, okay? And that's not what you want. You want positivity. Guys did good. Yeah.
Now to get up.
Right?
Now you notice that I didn't get down there because I know better. Listen, Mama didn't raise no fool trying to get up.
Oh my God.
Thank you. I close this session. close this session.
So is there a reason that you do things in threes?
You know, I'll tell you what it is. It's because of tradition. It's just, I've always done things in threes. It's the way that I was taught.
Okay.
There's no rhyme or reason. The big thing is like when you close session, and I just officially close the session. Seance, I can teach you guys how to do a seance in like 20 minutes, you know, and do it safely. But remember, the big thing is you open the session and you close it. You guys closed it, I just made sure it was closed.
Okay.
That's the only difference.
Okay.
And when I tap it, it's like seance. It's like a blessing, 1, 2, 3, blessing, 1, 2, 3. That's just the way it is for me. If you do like Reiki, a lot of times it's in threes.
Right.
So, you know, that's the way it works. Okay, what are we gonna do? Let's go play.